I first ran into Sandra back in 1992, right after I retired. And she picked me up as a work in progress. And she and I have been working together for 22 years on a variety of boards and a variety of events.
I think she was the marketing director of the Von Braun Civic Center, and she came to Scottsboro to speak to the civic organizations in promoting that, and I met her at the Rotary Club in Scottsboro several years ago.
I think one of the things that I noticed that, the first time, or when I met her, and it was in a business setting about 20 years ago, was how gracious she was.
I thought she was extraordinarily good-looking lady. She made an excellent presentation.
She was beautiful, very professional, very poised.
Sandra is an extraordinarily happy person. She's a person that has a knack of not meeting a stranger, I guess is a good way to put it.
I've been somewhat active within the community, especially since I retired from the Army in 1992. And Sandra is even more active than I am. In fact, she might be the most active person in town in supporting community events and boards.
We have a group of 7 women that meet for breakfast every week, and we also go on little trips. We've done that for about 10 or 11 years now.
I think they have a good time just being together and sharing, their family lives, with each other.
You don't want to know everything we talk about. I can't tell you everything we talk about. No, we talk a lot about what's going on in our lives, about our jobs, about our families, those kinds of things.
We have gatherings every year in November. There was a lot of birthdays in my family in November. And Sandra brought her 2 daughters and their children, and so they've sort of swelled the number of people we have. My oldest brother said, well, I used to have the largest family attending here, but Jack, you've outdone me now.
Sandra is like a breath of fresh air. When Sandra walks into a room, the room just lights up because she has this positive spirit, and she just exudes this energy and enthusiasm, and she's great.
She's politically connected, socially connected, business connected. You cannot think of an area where Sandra hasn't penetrated and made a multitude of friends and contacts within that area.
But I do know that there is something going on just about all the time that she's involved in.
Their projects are beautiful, extremely well done. They are well designed, beautiful, some of the nicest subdivisions in the market.
That's her personality and that's her style. Being connected and knowing people and meeting people and becoming part of their activities in their life is extremely important to Sandra. That's one of the things that makes her very unique.
We always meet at Christmas, our little group, and we have a Dirty Santa party, where you exchange gifts and steal each other's presents. And one year, Sandra had brought these really cute gloves. And one of the girls brought her mother-in-law that year who was in town visiting, and she really wanted those gloves. And she didn't get them because somebody stole them away from her. And Sandra went out later that day or the next day and bought her a pair of gloves and delivered them to our friend's house so that she could have them. And that was just the kindest thing.
Sandra's got a heart of gold.
As you can tell by my accent, I'm from New England, and we're a little bit more direct than you are down here in the South. And after almost 30 years of being in the military, I had some rough edges. And she quickly told me I needed to smooth out those rough edges if I was going to get along in Huntsville, Alabama. And she has been mentoring me for 22 years. Not very successful, but she's working at it. Maybe in the next 20 she'll get it.
When I started my business 3 years ago, she sent me a text message and said, hey, I meant to tell you, I have a spare office downstairs and you can have it. So she gave me office space to start my business. And when I called to tell her that I was going to be moving out and it was kind of scary, she said, baby, it's time to either go big or go home. And so that's what this symbolizes for me, is that go big or go home attitude, and that's how she lives her life. She lives her life really big.
She's never still. She's always doing something.
When we go to the beach, if we rent bicycles, Sandra does not ride the bike a mile down the road and back. If you ride bikes with Sandra, you're gone a half day. You are riding bikes.
I think she is a person who cares about people, that she cares about where we live. We want to make our community a better place to live, especially to bring up children and to have the opportunity for people who want to stay here to have an opportunity to find employment and good employment. And I believe that she's just cut out that way.
At Christmas, one of the things we like to do is that we invite our husbands and significant others along for a Christmas dinner up at Laureate. And Sandra is the one who every year wants everyone to go around the tables and tell what they're most thankful for. I realized that she had given me for my birthday this year, a couple of months ago, the perfect things. So the first one is a calendar of positive thoughts, lovely thoughts. And the reason I brought this along is because Sandra is one of the most positive people I have ever known. And it just so happens that today's thought says, be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a hard battle. And Sandra is truly one of the kindest people I have ever known.
Sandra genuinely cares about the people around her. She cares more about her coworkers, her friends, their families, than she does about herself.
Sandra is committed to her country, to her family, to her God, and to her community, and she lives that every day of her life.